This is going to be Lost City of the Tol'vir as a Mistweaver monk. So back in Cataclysm Dungeon territory again. This is another one of those runs that was a real long time ago and I remember nothing about it. I see a Guardian Druid, that's cool. Someone with energy 2 warriors possibly? No, that's a Death Knight and a warrior, right? Alright, there's the archaeology thing. Druid's moving. Ready to do stuff. Okay, I heard Fan of Knives. That's a rogue, right? Well, it could have been... No, it's a monk. So monk-colored action bar. 2 Death Knights. Got it. Okay. This druid's name. That sure is a name. Oh, man. Wait, who's targeting me? Why are you in combat? Okay, we got their attention somehow. This is a dungeon I never knew all that well, and that remains true to this day. I've not had a chance to really come back here. Well, I've had plenty of chances, but I haven't taken a chance to come back here and play it on my own and route it out and figure out where, like, all the paths lead or anything. I know I've been here as the dungeon leader way back in the day, but that was a long time ago. I remembered it being a lot larger than what I experience here based on the length of the video. Do we do skips? There might be a big skip in here somewhere. So, glancing at the map there, the bridge that was on our right is broken. On the left is the way through here. So another one of these dungeons that looks really open and non-linear, but might be a little bit more linear than it looks like. I think there's some choices about routing here. Again, I do remember people using some kind of skip. We run along a river or something and just don't fight a whole bunch of dudes we could fight. This is an outdoor place. I think you can mount anywhere you want in here. Or if you're a druid like this bear, just go into travel form anytime you're not in combat. Oh man, okay, so they do like Dragon's Breath on us. Ouch! Okay, and some nasty poison effects. Alright, that hurt me a bit. I am having to work here. Okay, so Og here is a boss, but we're not quite fighting him as a boss. He disappears. Okay, yeah, we got Dragon's Breathed. So enemy fire mage is here, I guess. Weird little dudes who talk funny. No, this looks like the normal route to me. Isn't there another way to go that fights less of these? Bear's not paying attention to who's behind. That's fine. Doesn't matter too much. Going straight for Lockmaw. Okay, that's his name. So Lockmaw and Og are sort of like a tag team boss thing. Lockmaw does some kind of tail thrash thing, Dust Flail. That's it. So don't be behind him, I think. Ring of Peace, that's right, I remember this now. That's not my Ring of Peace, that's the Windwalker's Ring of Peace. He's putting it around me to keep dudes off of where I am. Maybe? That's how I interpreted it there. I seem to have some kind of mark on me, telling me that I'm fixated by someone, and they're going to come after me. This was the first time I had seen anyone else use Ring of Peace. There's mine. That's what it's like. So, like, this Windwalker right here is the one who taught me to use Ring of Peace. Or, you know, put the idea in my head that, like, hey, I could just put that down when I don't want someone near me. Imagine that. I mean, reading the tooltip, it's obvious enough like that, but I don't know. I just had to see it in action to actually prompt thinking to use it. Okay, so Og just left when Lockmaw went down. Okay, well, that was that encounter. I wonder what the point of this is, like, dungeon-wise. Is it just an extra optional dude you can fight if you want to, or... I don't know if that unlocks anything anywhere over here. He might just be totally skippable. No idea. Yeah, a motorcycle. With tank treads on the back of it. That's weird. There are like hundreds and hundreds of mounts in this game now, I think. It used to be that there weren't all that many. If you saw a motorcycle, it was the Mechgineer's chopper, made by the engineering profession, and it was that and only that. But now there's like lots of motorcycles, lots of everything. So many mounts you can't keep track at all. Weird order. Okay, so I guess you don't normally do Og first. I mean, that seemed like perfectly reasonable routing to me. As someone who doesn't know the route through this dungeon like the back of their hand. Oh right, this next boss, who is usually the first one now that I think about it, sure has some voice acting that I really don't like. I've complained about some other voices, but this is pretty much the worst. Oh, it's Run Captain. Okay, so go catch up with those for the quest. Oof, what are you even going for there, voice actor? It gets worse. Okay, right, he puts down mines, like, who did I see recently who did this? Shockwave, General Hussam. There's somebody I fought recently who also did something similar to this. I forget who, though. Okay, they hurt that much. Are they just, like, continually exploding over and over? Like, if I got into that little yellow aura there... I don't know. I'm not sure how to interpret that animation. Look at this Death Knight on the right, dressed in his Wintervale clothes. Yikes. That's the line I really don't like. Ugh. Alright, well, we're past that now. Oh, okay, so we went over to... I see. That was a bit of backtracking. That makes sense. Okay, so you do General Hussam first. Come through here. Lockmod Augur through that stairway on the left. The right one might not lead anywhere? I don't know. Who else is even here? I don't even remember what other bosses are there. I think it's 4 of them, but maybe it's only 3. I think it's 4 of them. Yeah, it's definitely at least 4, because Siamet is the final one. And there's at least one more leading up to him. Yeah, okay, maybe just 2 more. Okay, I think I see how it is. So there's like 3 main chambers. You come in the main one. The bridge to the place we're in now is broken, so we go to the place we were just in. That branches off to where Og is. But then you go across the long way and end up here for the boss. Then we'll go back to the center for Siamet. Meteors are falling. Doing some damage. I have some kind of bleed effect on me that actually hurts kind of a lot. Yeah, so I'm noticing, like, poisons and bleeds are very much a thing here. Gotta keep up with them. Well, I appreciate having something to do. I'm not just, like, completely steamrolling this entire dungeon. Like we did with Grim Batal. I do like to actually feel like I'm running a dungeon. And not just walking through a nothing. That was a lot of enveloping mist. Probably too much. You don't usually want to hear that sound twice in a row that often. Oh well. Not a big deal. Yes, there's some kind of like Serum of Torment. Okay, so that's what they throw. That's a fear effect. In potion form. You can go up the left or right side of this. We're going up the left side, I guess. And just on our left here should be third boss, I think. High Prophet Barum. Yeah, so he's going to do something kind of interesting. Halfway through.
You are not welcome.
Well, what's happening to me? Sun's shining really hard on me or something. Okay. So don't stand in that, obviously. Okay, so when he does this, we go into sort of some kind of like shadow world where our physical bodies are stuck there. And we gotta fight the Harbinger of Darkness, apparently. I used Revival. That seemed to make sense. There's some kind of time pressure here? Or something? I forget. There was a soul fragment there. Oh, well, it's over. Alright. That probably means a lot more on Heroic or Time Walking or whatever. It didn't last long enough to really understand what was going on with it there. This is available on Time Walking. I checked. It actually is this time. Oh, okay, so Og and Lockmaw are probably... So once you defeat this, Siamet becomes active, the whole place gets, like, ruined. There's some kind of, yeah, that slipstream thing I need to get into to zip up there. Wind tunnel. I'm guessing you just have to fight the three dudes and then this happens? Maybe? I don't know. I'll have to test it. But yeah, go up on the top of the central structure, and there's Siamet. Somebody couldn't find their way up. And also got in some trouble, maybe. There we go. Whoa. An extra little bounce. Okay. Don't remember how Siamet works. I know there's some additional dudes during this fight. Yeah, there's one. Servant of Siamet. More of a tank problem than my problem. I think he might be invincible or, like, mostly invulnerable until those are dealt with. I see that big shield around him. I wonder if at some point I roll over the buff tooltip to see what it says. Deflecting winds. 90% something, so maybe 90% damage reduction. I didn't get a chance to read it, but I think that's what it is. So get rid of the servants. Winds of the south, rise and come to your master's aid. Yeah, so once the servants of Siamet are gone, it probably becomes vulnerable. Yeah, okay. Shield gone. Now you get blown around a whole lot and it's kind of a pain, that's right. Even roll can't quite overcome it. It tends to be polite enough not to blow you off the edge, but I think it's not always. The wind tunnels are still there, so if you fall off you can click one and get back on. So like big zappy noises, but nobody's taking that much damage. So that one's not a big deal, apparently. At least on normal. Our two Death Knights were off somewhere else. Where were they? Maybe they got blown off the platform. Okay, well I guess that was... I guess that was this place. That's pretty typical. I never feel like I understand, like, what happens here when I run this. I'll get to it. When I, drag my, like, 9 characters in a row through here. As I do. Eventually. Alright, turn in quests and done. Somebody's already teleported out. That is a little quicker. Want to do another? Nope, I'm leaving. But the rest of you can have fun. I hope you do. Alright, well that was Lost City of the Tol'vir. See you next time.